Hey business bestie, before we start this week's episode, I just wanted to let you know, in case you missed last week's episode, that the Reels Ramp Up is open for enrollment and I have not seen you sign up quite yet. Picture this, you sit down for your weekly content planning time block, you take a deep breath, and you realize that you feel at ease for the first time ever. Ideas are flowing freely and you know exactly what you want to create this week. After a half hour of planning, you're ready to record a few new videos, repurpose some footage you already have in your camera roll, and you are just ready to show up confidently and grow your business. All because you invested in yourself, in your business, and you have the confidence you need to create engaging reels that grow your business. AKA, you stop throwing spaghetti at the wall thanks to the Reels Ramp Up. This program is for you if you're already in the habit of creating content, but you need a little hands-on help to get your point across. You need a little bit of help attracting new clients, and you need to get your current clients to say, fuck yeah, I'm ready to work with you. Megan, my co-coach, and I will help you get clear on what to talk about on your platform. We will help you simplify the type of content that you produce, and we will be with you every day, Monday through Friday, helping you make real-time adjustments and tweaks tailored towards your business. Not just blanket advice, but tweaks to your content. And we will be there every step of the way, helping you with both content and mindset drama that you have during this challenge. Join us October 14th to November 13th for our first Reels Ramp Up Challenge and save 40%. To ensure that you have personalized attention and feedback, enrollment for this challenge is capped at just 15 people. Do not miss your chance to get hands-on guidance and finally take control of your reels. Spots are filling up fast, so grab yours now before they're gone. All right, let's dig into today's episode, shall we? Welcome to Do the Dang Thing podcast with Chrissi Sperduto. The podcast that's like having a personal action-taking coach in your pocket, giving you bite-sized tips and small mindset shifts every week. I'm your host, Chrissi Sperduto. I'm a network marketer turned action-taking coach for business owners who grew her businesses while holding down a successful career in aviation. I'm on a mission to help you fit your business into your everyday life because I believe you are capable of doing some pretty amazing things no matter how chaotic your life is. Consider me your no-nonsense business BFF, helping you learn how to get it all done quicker, easier, and with way less mental drama. Join me here on the podcast each week where we'll chat everything from systems to help you fit your business into real life, to business tips, plus time management hacks, mindset shifts to help you find the courage to take that next step in your business, and real life experts to inspire and empower you to go after your goals. Let's go, CEO. We have work to do. Grab your favorite cup of coffee or wine, no judgment here, and get ready to ditch those inner mean girl thoughts ringing in the back of your head so you can embrace your inner badass and go do the dang thing. Hello, and a big, giant happy birthday to me. I am turning 30 today, besties, and let me tell you, I am here for it. Whenever I tell people my age, I feel like they're shocked when I say it, but maybe now that I'm the big 3-0, it won't be as much of a shock anymore. And by the way, you may have noticed that there's some new theme music too. That was a little gift from me to me a few weeks ago. One of the servers at our favorite restaurant is studying music, and when we were just chatting, it kind of came up in conversation. I asked him if he's ever recorded podcast music before, and he said no. So I asked him to record some for me, and he came up with a few things for me to sample, and I totally fell in love with the new music. He caught the vibe so well. So thank you, Joey, for the new tune. That's so unique and so fun. I've linked his profile in the show notes, and I would love if you go give him some love at whoisjoeywoods on Instagram. And if you need podcast intro music for your podcast, please reach out to him. He is so nice, so sweet, and will give you so many different options to choose from. I'm a really big believer in supporting local, supporting artists, and honestly just supporting the people that I know. So I'm giving him a big old shameless plug, and I hope you'll use his music if your podcast intro music needs a refresh or if you decide to start a podcast someday. Okay. Let's move on. Today's episode, I am turning 30 today, so I thought it would be so fun to do a birthday reflection / intentions episode. I think every once in a while we really need to touch on these, and it doesn't necessarily need to be on the first of the year, the first of a month, on a Monday. Like, you can pick any day of the year to set intentions, to set goals, and really just kind of reset what you're doing. I am kind of curious. Do you make a big deal out of your birthday like I do? I know some people like don't do anything at all, but I love birthdays. I feel like it's like New Year, but better. And today, I want to talk about you stepping into your next freaking era on what feels like New Year's Day to me. As I step into my 30s, I've declared that these are going to be the best years yet. Although the 20s were pretty freaking amazing. But I want to invite you to step into your next best era alongside of me. Do you want to do this together? I've spent a lot of time in the last couple of weeks reflecting on what I've done, where I'm going, and what the next decade is going to look like, both for me and for my business. I'm going to talk about 3 things that I did before I was 30 that were absolute game changers for me, and then 4 things that I want to do before I turned 40, and then finally 3 tips to help you do the same. So let's get started on the 3 things that I did before I turned 30. The first one's probably going to surprise you a little bit. I landed my dream job when I was 20. And I became a certified air traffic controller when I was 23 or 24. It was a very long process, but this had been a dream of mine since I was probably like 15 or so. And I did it, and it was a lot of work, but it was so amazing to set a goal and to achieve it, especially as young as I did. And now I am really lucky that I get to show new controllers how to do the job. It's kind of like, I relate it to like being a welder, where a welder is going to pass their craft from one person to the next. And that's what we do in air traffic control. It's a lot of hands-on, it's many hours, and it is painstaking to pass your craft on to someone else. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of endurance. They're long days. And it's just so amazing. So I think it's so funny that I was the kid that talks too much and is bossy on her report card. And now I get to tell people what to do because it's my job. So don't ever, think that you're boxed in because you get comments like that. Oh, you're so bossy. Oh, you talk too much. Well, you should probably start a podcast or start a business or become an air traffic controller. The second thing I did before I turned 30 is I got married, and this changed so much for me. For a long time, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get married. I don't know if I'm going to have kids. And I was kind of dead set against it, but I met my husband, and I knew on the first date that we were going to get married. I don't know how I knew, but something was just different. I was nervous before our first date, and then, so we met online. So we had been chatting for a couple of weeks. I was nervous to go to the date. I get to the date, and then I just felt like I was at home. Like, I felt so comfortable around him within the first couple of minutes. It was funny because it was like around the same time we went for drinks, and like a drink and a half in, I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And I got up, and he did the same thing, and both of us went into the bathroom, and we're texting other people like, oh my God, this date is going so well. This is so amazing. Like, I was saying, he's really cool. He's making me laugh. He was like, I don't feel nervous. And so I just, looking back on that, it changed so much for me. Not only going from being single and independent to being partnered up with someone. It was no longer what I wanted to do all the time or just my dreams. It became us and our dreams. I've learned so much about myself. I've learned about my preferences. I've learned how to communicate and how to be there for someone. And it has been an absolute wild ride, but one that I absolutely love and would not trade for the world. And then the third thing, and this probably won't come as a surprise, the third thing that I did before I turned 30 was I became a certified mindset coach, which changed the way I see absolutely everything. And it has been one of the most impactful tools in my toolbox. It is actually a tool I use a lot while I'm training new air traffic controllers. That was like a fun little bonus. Oh, I can use this with them and get them to a point where they can see what's going on and not beat themselves up as much because it's an inherently negative process. The training process is an inherently negative process. You have to write up a grade sheet every day of what they did wrong. And so I'm able to go, hey, this isn't a reflection of you. Like, you did all these things right. They just didn't make it onto this sheet. But anyways, this one, getting a mindset certification, was the wild card on my list. In my teens, I don't know that I would have said, oh, I want to become a coach before I turn 30. It was not on my list. But it's one of those, the opportunity presented itself and I just listened to my gut. It was kind of like the first date with my husband. As soon as the pitch to become a certified mindset coach came from my business coach at the time, I was like, yes, absolutely, I need to do this. I didn't look to anyone else. I did discuss it with my husband because communication is key there. I discussed it with him. I slept on it and I said, no, this really is what I need to be doing. This is my next step. And I went with it. I ran with it, and I'm so happy that I did because it really did change my perspective on a lot of things. I hate when people, it changed my life. It actually did change my life, and I'm so glad that I got it before I turned 30. So now, enough looking backwards. I'm ready to look forward. I want to tell you 4 things that I want to do before I turn 40. The first is I want to go to Italy. I want to travel to Italy and go wine tasting. Italian and French wines are my absolute favorite, and I've already been to France and went champagne tasting last year, so I'm excited to do this. And we've been talking about going to Italy, specifically to Rome, for about 4 years. I think it's going to happen soon. I'm hoping that it'll happen in December, but we shall see. Life has thrown us curveballs every December for the last 3 to 4 years, so we shall see. I'm hoping that it does actually come to fruition. The second thing that I want to do before I turn 40 is I want to mentor 1,000 women to build businesses that light their souls on fire. I feel like I'm really good at this, and I have like my core group of people that I've helped do this, but in such a small scale. I want to have a major impact on so many more people's lives, and this feels so big and so daunting, but I bet across the next 10 years that I can totally do that. So here's to hoping. The third thing I want to do before I turn 40 is I want to learn a new skill or get a new certification. And I'm really not sure what this skill will be, but a coaching certification in my 20s was such a game changer for me. So I will be actively seeking out opportunities to either get another certification or another skill. And what that is, I don't know. Only time will tell. And I'm waiting for like the vibes to be right, for my gut to tell me, yeah, this is the one to go with. So we shall see what comes up. If you have something that you're like, hey, I think Chrissi would be really good at this, and like this could be the next new thing that she learns, send it my way. I pride myself in being a forever learner, so I would love to hear what you have cooking, what you know about. Don't be shy. So, and then finally, the fourth thing I want to do before I turn 40 is I want to take my business to the 7-figure level, because that feels big and scary and daunting, but why not aim high? The worst thing is I'm going to miss it and hit the 6-figure level. I'm okay with that. I would love to know what would be a couple of things that you would like to achieve before you hit your next decade. But let's relate all of these things that I want to do, that I've done, I want to do in my personal life, back to business, because that's why you're here, to listen to a business podcast, and to learn to do the dang thing. So don't worry, I have some action tips for you. I want to help you step into your next era. And I'm here today to help you do that with 3 tangible tips you can use to level up as a business owner, starting right now. No waiting for Monday or a new month or a new year. Now is the time to declare your next era and step into the next version of yourself. Not that we don't love your current version, but it's time to step into the 2.0 version or the 3.0 version, and really do the dang thing with intention. And so you can hit those goals that you have for your next milestone. Letting things just kind of happen, but not actually creating a plan and stepping into your business glow up is not how we're going to do this. We are going to do this with intention. And honestly, you need to always be changing, to be evolving, because there is not room to stay stagnant. Well, unless you want to stay stuck, then you can stay stagnant. But I know you don't want to stay stuck because you're here listening and you're ready to level up. Okay? So here are 3 tips for you to step into your next best era, as I'm turning 30, and 30 tips would be like way too many to digest. So let's do 3. The first tip to step into your best era is to reflect and reassess. So before we can step into something new, we need to take a look at what's going on right now, what's working, what's not, and what needs to be left behind in the old version of you. Think of this as your business clean out phase. You wouldn't step into a new season of life carrying all the baggage from before, right? You wouldn't go on a trip without first cleaning out the trash and the dirty laundry from your last trip, right? The same goes for your business. So I want you to sit down and reflect. Think of your business from various different angles and see what has to go. I want you to look at your offers, your systems, your daily habits, or even your mindset. What has to go? What are we leaving behind in the 1.0 version of yourself? And then, what do you need to ditch because it's not serving you anymore? What does the next version of you no longer need to be carrying around? Is this bad habits, outdated processes, offers that don't align with where you're heading? I had to burn down the roadmap membership in order to make room for the Do the Dang Thing membership, where I'm now able to serve a lot more people on a much bigger scale in a way that meets people where they are without them having to invest $1,000 in a course. That it hurt to burn down the the roadmap membership, but man, oh man, did it make room for a really awesome Do the Dang Thing membership. So, your action step for this tip is to go do an audit. Go through every area of your business and figure out what stays and what needs to go. You know how it feels when you clean out your closet? Same energy here, bestie. Go through, touch everything and say, is this good or does it need to go? Does this still fit or does it need to go? And the stuff that just doesn't fit anymore, get rid of it. Sayonara. Make space for this next era. The second tip for you is to get clear on your vision. So now we've cleared out the old. We have room to breathe again. We have room to be creative. The world is your oyster here. You now have room to dream. And it's time to get clear on your vision. If you don't know where you're going, you'll end up running in circles. Your audience won't know where you're going. So you need to get really clear on what the next step is, what the next phase is. So pour yourself a glass of wine, cuddle up on your couch, grab a blanket, grab a notebook, and ask yourself, what does my ideal business feel like? How does it operate? What does it look like in the next year, the next 2 years, the next 5 years? Write out your ideal day in the next 5 years. So 5 years from now, what does your ideal day look like? What time do you wake up? What's in your coffee cup? Do you go out for a walk? When do you sit down to your desk? Are you still working your full-time job? Write out your entire day from start to end. Note things that you smell, things that you see, what you're eating, what you're doing, what your mindset is like, how you feel. And also take note of what's not around you. Who have you surrounded yourself with? And who have you said goodbye to? Or what have you said goodbye to? Okay? You need to get really clear on your vision for this next phase in all areas of your life, because we don't do business inside a vacuum. We do business inside of our real life. So don't just focus on how much money you want to make. Like, I think a lot of the times we get really tied up on, I want to make 6 figures. I want to make 7 figures. I want to net $50,000 a year. But think about how you want to feel running your business. Do you want to feel like a CEO? Do you want to feel like you're in control? Do you want to feel like your hair is not on fire? How do you want to feel in your life? Do you want more freedom, more flexibility? Do you want more time with your family? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want to spend your time on? Who do you want to spend your time with? And if you're a visual person like me, maybe consider making a vision board. I know they're a little hokey, but see it. Do whatever it takes to see your life 5 years from now and what you want it to look like. Once you have clarity on what your life is going to look like, you can start creating those routines to make sure that it looks like that in 5 years. Tip number 3 for creating the life that you want, then the 2.0 version of yourself, is to recommit to consistency. I think this is something we all need to hear all the time. Committing to consistency. And you know this already. Life is busy. But being consistent does not mean that you need to do it all or do it all the time. It is about showing up, even in the smallest ways, especially when life is crazy. Think about those non-negotiables. You remember my minimum checklist from episode 16? What are the things you have to do every day to move the needle? Commit to doing them. And when you just painted your vision in step 2, what are those activities that move the needle? Once you decide what those activities are, commit to doing it for 30 days, Monday through Friday for 1 month. Show up in the way that your next era self would show up, even in small ways, and watch how the momentum builds. It's going to take you 60 to 90 days to build the habit and to build the momentum and start to see the fruit of your labor. And so often, people give up between 30 and 45 days. Keep going. You might have to do some of these things in small steps. You cannot overhaul your entire life in one night, in one day, but you can show up differently in one area of your life, one area of your business. Maybe it's you start by every day you go for a walk. Or you show up and you interact with 10 accounts on Instagram every day for a month. Then next month you revisit and you add on another habit. You shift your mindset to, this is who I am as a business owner. This is who I am as a wife. This is who I am as a person. And it's so, so powerful as we're building new habits to just constantly take over that new mindset. This is who I am as a business owner. This is just who I am now as a wife. This is who I am as a person. I'm the type of person that goes for a walk every day. I'm the type of person that shows up on social media every day. And every month, if you add one more thing to that habit stack, all of a sudden in a year, you're going to be unrecognizable. In 5 years, you're going to be a whole new person with a whole new business. And I want you to remember, bestie, we are not ever aiming for perfection. Just consistency and authenticity. Living our best life, our best era, and doing things imperfectly, but doing the dang thing. So, bestie, here we are, stepping into the next decade of my life, and I'm inviting you to step into the next era of your business alongside me. And even if it's not a big birthday for you, today can be a monumental day in your life just because you decide today is the day. And it's all about deciding, this is where I'm going, and I'm going to figure out the steps I need to take to get there, and then I'm going to do the dang thing. I'm going to take the action. And as a final challenge for you, because you know I always wrap up an episode with this, pick one of the tips I share today and take action. Don't wait. Don't overthink it. Pick something and do it. Go ahead and do your audit or get clear on your vision or even add a new habit in. And when you do, tag me in your stories because I want to celebrate you doing the dang thing. On my birthday, too. I wouldn't mind a birthday shout out. All right, friends. I'm off to celebrate my birthday, but I hope you are walking away from this episode with some major clarity and excitement for what is next. Before I go, I do have one little teeny tiny birthday present ask from you. If you are loving the podcast and what we're doing here, go ahead and leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. Seriously, it helps more badass business owners just like you find the show, and we can help even more people step into their next best era, but they have to find us first. So here's to stepping into the next best era of our lives and our businesses together. And remember, as always, keep on doing the dang thing. Bye. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Do the Dang Thing podcast with Chrissi Sperduto. If you know someone that could benefit from today's chat, please send this episode their way and be sure to leave a rating and a review so more business owners can find the podcast and be inspired to take action on their goals. Also, I love to see what you're doing while you listen. Share what you're up to while you listen to today's episode and tag me in your stories at Chrissi Sperduto for a shout out. If you'd like to explore more resources like my free monthly coaching call and learn how we can work together through one-on-one coaching or the Do the Dang Thing membership, head to www.chrissisperduto.com. Please always remember that you are not alone in this adventure. I am always rooting for you, bestie. Until next time, keep on doing the dang thing. Bye.